Joining me, as I've been mentioning all morning long, regarding D-Day is Lori McLaughlin, Connie Jury, and Jill Warren, and we are going to have open phone lines for your questions, and also Connie's been looking for volunteers for her committee to help out those 2 days. And Connie, you're just looking for somebody to come on down, give directions, give out brochures, that sort of stuff?
Well, we have a lot of different positions, and I want to mention here too that we have a lot of our volunteers that are coming back with their expertise and that have worked D-Days in the past, that give hours and hours of their time. And Jill, who's gone to college, she's come back and she's given us her expertise and working with us this year, and we're really excited to have her. But we are looking for people who would work anywhere from 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. We find people come down and they don't want to leave. But we do need people to work the information booth. We need them to work the PX where they'll be selling souvenirs. We definitely need parking lot attendants. We need gate people. We need people to ride the buses, to tell the people a little bit about D-Day, maybe a little background on Conneaut, where they can go and eat. People that can work the memory wall, which is a sit-down job. Just got an email the other day where they're talking about selling the coins when the reenactors come in, and that would be maybe that Thursday. So we need people. That also would be we just need people to do everything.
Right. All week long.
We can all week long. And if you're available, we can find a job for you that you'll enjoy doing.
Okay, excellent.
And we're coming on site this year, Monday. We have storage units around town, and we're emptying the storage units, bringing them to the park, and doing setup on Monday to get a jump on everything. Having said that, from Monday through Sunday is how we're going to work it, and Sunday is taking everything back, and in between are all these other tasks as well. So we need people with expertise and people with brawn. Just and knowing about the town is really important, because I mean that's all these people that we're the friendliest town in the nation. I hear that all the time. People come in and say, I can't believe how friendly this town was. They showed me how to get around. They took me here. And that's what we do. And we just want our volunteers to shine as they are, who they are. And Connie's right. We have a great group of volunteers and fabulous expertise. People who are retired, who bring their expertise, and young people who just help us out throughout the year even.
I noticed Saturday, I think it was, you had a meeting.
Yes.
At the museum.
At the church.
Or church. And it looked like you had a good turnout.
We did. We had a very good turnout. It's very encouraging.
Are things coming into place? Things
are coming into place. Actually, we call them our truck and trailer crew. We've actually put them to work already. We've gone and gotten old fencing from Thomas Fence that they donated fencing. We had a group go and get that one day and then unload it. Then we went back and got more. These are people that just show up, and we have construction jobs. I have several people doing specific construction jobs. A lot of things have to be done in advance. Getting out flyers, getting out line cards, and a big draw on Saturday was the fact that we had T-shirts. Our T-shirts came in, and there's our T-shirt behind us, and that's this year's T-shirt. That is hand drawn. That is not a cut and paste off the internet picture. That is hand drawn, and it's and we have them men's sizes up to 3X and women's sizes $20 and $22 for the larger sizes. Okay. So.
Where can you get them now?
You can get them now at the H&R Block. Jen Pelagi's our Chief Financial Officer, H&R Block on Liberty Street at the start of Broad Street there. And I mean, she's got them right there available.
Will they be for sale down there?
They will. We got 1,000, so we're hoping there's some left before we start.
Surprisingly, when we were working the information booth last year, I was amazed at the people after the battle who wanted to buy the T-shirts.
Right then and there.
Right then and there. Yep. So I mean, there is a big demand.
There's a huge demand, and you also can buy them online. There's a PayPal account set up that you can go to our website and you can buy many of our PX items pre-event.
Okay.
So when we get the hats in, we'll let you know. A lot of people have been asking about hats. We have hats this year. They want them pre-event because they want to be able to wear them down, you know, during the day. So that's we had brisk sales on Saturday of the T-shirts. So that was a good pull. And we really appreciate our volunteers, and we actually have a volunteer crew that's in charge of giving lunch to our volunteers, because we ask them to come down and stay as long as they can, and so we encourage them by giving them lunch all week. So we actually have a whole crew just to give out lunches.
Are you going to have concession stands down there?
Oh, a lot of concession stands.
Are you?
Yes. Jim Snyder's in charge of concessions, and he's figured out how to tuck in a few extra ones this year, and also a variety. A nice variety of concession stands. The regular ones that we usually have, Papa Dogs is Herbie Waters. He's a great mainstay. Everyone in everyone in the county knows him. Yeah, he does a great job. We have Cunningham's. I think Kay's Place is still involved, and then there's some new ones that are. We're very excited about some of the new ones that are coming in. Just different kinds of food. Different varieties.
Jill, I'm going to ask you. You're kind of new here. How did you get involved?
I told Debbie when I started. I said I really want to get. I'm really interested in D-Day. It's always been one of my favorite events.
You might want to explain. You are the assistant, or you need an intern, right?
Yes. I did finish my degree. Well, I'm working on finishing my degree. I graduated technically in May. So I'm doing my internship as soon as it's over. Actually, the first weekend in August. I'll be all done. But I plan on staying to help, and I told Debbie, I was really interested in D-Day, and how can you hook me up? And she gave me Lori's number, and Lori has helped me fly from there.
Yeah. And she's flying. We're really giving her wings and putting her to work.
This is the first time I've met Jill. Now, she is the intern assistant for Debbie Newcomb at the Human Resource Center, but she's also involved with D-Day.
Yes.
And
also help Pam.
you'll be making another appearance this week, right?
Yes, on Wednesday.
On Wednesday with Debbie, and they will be talking about the Dock Fest, I believe, or the Windmill Run.
The Windmill Run, yep.
Yeah.
We're pretty excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be great this year.
Excellent.
And Jill's a hometown girl, went off to college, and is bringing her expertise back to help Conneaut. So that's very exciting.
Sure is.
Conneaut's getting this brain gain of very young, energetic, youthful.
Good.
It's very exciting because I'm getting tired, but it's very exciting because
wait till you get my age.
Because they bring more expertise. They're more tech savvy. They're social media savvy.
Sure.
D-Day has a Facebook page. I don't even get up on it. I mean, I should, but I don't. I've got so much going on, and they're in tune constantly. It's very exciting. Very exciting.
One thing I would like to mention, Pat, is a couple people have come up to me and they have already indicated that they are going to work. I'm going to get together with, we haven't contacted anybody yet to really set them up. We're waiting maybe another week, and I hope to sit down with Jill and we can brainstorm and get 2 areas, and then we're going to start calling those people back and fitting them into the slots that they want to do. And I also want to mention that we have a few telephone company guys too that volunteer a lot of time for D-Day. Oh yeah, Jeff Raines and Jim Suplee and
good.
Jeff.
Yeah.
My little buddy Jeff proposed.
Yeah. He was just out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have quite a few that volunteer from the phone company.
Yeah.
Jill, you have something you wanted to mention.
Yeah, I have been emailing all of our volunteers that are on our past contact list. If you had provided us an email, please check it. It's possible that my email went to your spam box. So, we do need the help, so definitely check it and make sure that you get back to us if you see it.
And what email did you use, Jill?
Jill.warren14@gmail.com. So keep an eye out for that one. Okay. I taglined it D-Day Volunteering 2014, so you'll know it's from me.
That can happen.
It does.
All the time.
It does.
Right, and I've also done a brochure that Jill's going to take around and we're going to try to get out, and that also has a different new email that you can you can call, and it's, if you think about it, it's Volunteer D-Day Conneaut 2014 at yahoo.com. But hopefully these flyers will be around.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Lori, we're going to switch back to you now. How about, this is the 22nd, 23rd, correct?
22nd, 23rd.
Which is a Friday and Saturday.
It is. However, we do the outdoor movie on Thursday. I want to remind everybody about that. It's the Saints and Soldiers trilogy, and so no one around here would have seen it yet. So it's not the world premiere that it was a couple years ago, but it is a really big deal. It is a modern-made movie about World War II, and it has some great storylines in it. So that'll be Thursday night.
That'll be at Township Park.
At Township Park, at the stage, and the library's bringing their 12-foot inflatable screen.
Okay.
Yes.
Kathy will be there.
Kathy will be there. Yes, absolutely. So we're very excited to offer that, and I've already talked to our internally to our board, saying that next year we do need to promote it as a 3-day event. That is what it's getting to be, is a 3-day event. So
Which it used to be, wasn't it?
which, you know, I don't know in the old
days I thought it was.
Okay, and it could have been. And we always debate about Sunday. The tough thing about Sunday is the reenactors come from all over the country, and they need to get back home. So they've taken their personal time to get here, and they need a travel day to get back home. So Sunday is a more difficult day. However, because we have so many volunteers up, and I can tell you, 1,088 was our last count as of last night.
Wow.
Signed up, and we're
way ahead of last year.
Way ahead of last
Wow.
year. As a matter of fact, we made a decision that we're capping it at 1,200 because we know not everybody will show up. It's free to register, so we know not everybody will show up, but that we just know that it's going to be a great.
How many people do you think we draw? 30,000 maybe?
I'll tell you what, I think this year it's definitely going to be way up there. Way up there.
That's what the number was. I think it was Tim Hansley told me he thought back then.
Back then.
Over the 2-3 day period.
2-3 days. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Hi, you're on the air.
Morning, Pat. I'm calling back. This is for Lori.
Mm-hmm.
Lori, this is Tom Smile.
Hi, Tom.
How you doing?
Good.
How can I get some more of the flyers to distribute? Because they gave me a few at our last tourism meeting,
Yep.
and I put them right out there. I try to campus 90, and I put them out, and I'm going to figure that they're probably already gone by now.
Right. Yes, you can get more flyers. We did a reorder because we also went through them so fast. Jen Pelagi at H&R Block, you can go to her office on Liberty Street. She does have a box of flyers that she will hand out. I can tell you that we have several dedicated volunteers even from out of state that come in on a yearly basis and pick up the brochures as soon as they're ready, and they take them to Sharon, PA, Youngstown area, New York area, over to Menor, Chesterland, areas that are dedicated to, it's almost a tri-state area kind of event. And we've got a guy that's taken a whole bunch down to Crawford County. So as the word gets out, more people do want the flyers. So very exciting. I do have the posters in now. So if anybody wants a poster, you need to call me at Biscotti's so we can get them delivered to you. I would like to, right now, because there is a limited supply, make sure that we keep them to businesses, business windows. It's not for personal use, but it is, it's a great way to show off, we didn't want to start it too soon.
They need to put one down at the kiosk down at the lake. I went down there and I had one of the flyers, and what they did was they copied it and then they stuck it in the kiosk, but they actually need to get a flyer down it.
Are you talking about at Township Park or the Port Authority area?
Pardon?
Township Park or the docks?
The docks.
The docks. Okay, thank you,
Because a
Tom.
lot of the boaters down there were asking them when it was, and they didn't
Okay.
have any idea. And then when I came down with the flyers, because I gave them a flyer to hang up,
Okay,
and then they copied it front and back and put it in the kiosk.
okay.
So
I'll
kinda nice,
actually.
maybe we had an official flyer down there.
Okay, thank you, Tom. I'll take them. I'll stop by Jen's office when I leave here and pick up line cards and take them down, and also a poster. So
Because
thank you.
I've been handing those flyers out on the McDonald's down there on Love's. Love's was like crazy. They told me to put them all through the whole thing.
I know. It's very exciting. I tell you, we're getting a lot of feedback on that, and the event has just grown as Pat mentioned. It's not only grown, but it's getting national and international attention. I'm very excited to announce that we have dignitaries coming that are foreign ambassadors that live in our country that are going to represent certain countries. We've invited the allied countries as well as Germany, and the Canadian Consulate General from Canada has confirmed. The Netherlands ambassador has confirmed. John Patterson will be representing the United States, and we have several other countries that are talking about sending a representative. So that is international attention. And we also will be playing a video or a public service announcement that Tom Brokaw has done, and we're going to put the video link up on the website soon, and you will see where Tom Brokaw thanks D-Day Conneaut for honoring the veterans. So that is some serious, interesting, exciting news that you know, puts a really good spin on our event here. We are getting national attention, so that's exciting. And it all started here in Conneaut just 15 years ago already. It's been 15 years. So, but we were talking about the.
So I just go to H&R Block to get those flyers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
H&R Block.
H&R Block.
You might want to give Joe Paganaskis, am I saying that right, Pat?
Yeah, close.
Channel 5. Well, it's kind of a hard name, but he said he wanted to cover it, so we sent him another flyer.
Okay.
We gave him one of your flyers from the D-Day thing, and then he said that anybody from Cleveland covered this, and we said we've been trying to get people from Cleveland, and he said, well, he'll try his darndest to cover it.
Okay.
So maybe you might want to drop him a line from the D-Day committee.
Yeah. Well, we have a media committee, so I will send along that name. Also,
The guy from Channel 19, I can't think.
okay. And then kicking it with Kenny in Cleveland. He
Channel 8.
also had some interest. Yeah,
just
Channel
thought
8,
you might
okay.
want to mention, because he did say when I met him out at the tourism center that he wanted to cover this. So
Okay.
if you drop
Thank
him
you.
a line, that might help him remember.
Okay.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Tom, for all your service. Wow. Thank you.
And you know
Great.
it's people like Tom that talk to others, and that's what helps us. The networking is huge, and that's how we got the Tom Brokaw video, because Irene Johnson, who used to live in Conneaut, works for NBC now, hooked us up. So you know, everybody can do a little piece. That's the thing about the volunteers. You can do a little piece. You could do, you know, all week long. You can, you know, every piece is important in our puzzle. Yes. So very exciting.
I'll take this call, but then I want you to break down what's on the agenda.
Okay. Yep.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Pat. This is Debbie again. Hey.
Yeah.
I called you before, but wait a minute. Let me put this on mute because it may come in better. It was my nephew, Drew Thomas, that volunteered and donated all the fencing for the D-Day thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I just want to give him a little bit more recognition because our family believes in giving back into the community we live in, and we're strong believers of that. And I guess that might be and this might be something to do with Jill. I guess that's my concern about the use of the grant money given to the handyman services when my brother-in-law couldn't get that service. But, okay, this isn't the time for that.
Right.
But, yeah, I just want to give Drew a big thank you for donating all that fencing, and he is my nephew.
What did he donate?
Drew Thomas and his brother, his family owned Thomas Fence Company.
Oh.
And when they tear down old fencing, they put it in a pile on their property. And a couple years ago, I happened to, you know, run into him, and we were talking, and I said, "Do you ever have old fencing?" And he said, "Yeah, just come and look." And so it started a couple years ago where my nephew and I actually went and got cedar planks, and we built the memorial wall. And the memorial wall covers up chain link fencing, so we're covering up modern looking fence with old looking fence.
Okay.
And so each year we go back and we get a little more. And this year we made 2 runs and got old picket fencing and a stockade type fencing. And we were talking last night about several areas that we're going to utilize that in. And actually at at the restaurant, Drew also gave me a huge poster that he had framed, and I have it hanging in the restaurant of the B-25 bomber that came last year. So, you know, it's very exciting to see. You know, said everybody, you just don't know what you can do. That, you know, if you give Connie a call, sometimes just talking to her and brainstorming and discussing certain things, you find out what you might be able to help us with. And yeah,
Okay.
the whole crew at Thomas Fence was helpful. They actually used their forklifts and put it on, and it's great.
Okay, Debbie, thank you.
Alrighty. Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
All right. All right, here's what we're going to do. We'll start this out. Now, there's a lot of
There's a
information
lot.
here. The movie starts, the outdoor movie will be on
Thursday
night.
at dusk, basically 9 o'clock.
Mhm.
Okay, and that'll be the kickoff, so to speak, in a casual form to the event.
Okay.
The next day at 9 o'clock in the morning is the official 9 to 5 kind of day, and it is jam-packed with things going on. And this year we're adding a lot more for the women. There's going to be some of the women reenactors are doing a tea social. They're going to have the fashion show. They're going to have hair and makeup classes.
Right down there.
Right down there at the lower pavilion. And those are not open to the public, but you can watch them. And so they're you know, the viewing of them is, you know, will be interesting. And then obviously the camps will be open. You're welcome to peruse the camps. And the reenactors really do love it. Only if they're getting ready for a battle or something when they don't have time. It's a little more difficult to stop and talk. But there's usually somebody in the camps at all time where you can stop and talk to them. And they love talking about their equipment. They love talking about why they're interested in being a reenactor, and we have the opportunity to have a first-hand experience here in town. You know, we can go Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and that's what's exciting. A lot of people come and can only see a couple hours of it. We have the opportunity to see the whole thing. So,
Lori, now, are there any battles on Friday?
Yes, there's a battle at, I think it's 4 o'clock on Friday, and it's called the Folkerville Battle, and that is at the bend between Grove Street and where Grove Street splits in the park, where you
Okay,
go either
got
to
it.
the lower
Yeah.
pavilion or to the upper bluff
Yeah.
area.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right in that area, and that's a really nice battle, and we do expect air support for that battle.
Okay.
Okay.
Then that night, I mean, on Friday night, is there something else going? Is there a concert that night?
Friday night's concert at the community center.
Okay.
At the art
Which is
center.
kind of blended in.
Sorry,
with
Penny.
it.
The art
Yeah,
center.
right, that's
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
Can I interject that the
Yes.
Port Conneaut Credit Union is sponsoring that comment?
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, and that's a 1940s band, Don DeSantis, and he does a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Phenomenal job. So that is open. Though, and while we're talking about that, in that backyard at the baseball field will be a 1940s baseball game. So the reenactors want to play
Really?
baseball. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, they have soccer. They have a soccer game going on, and I think that's Friday afternoon maybe, or sometime Saturday. And so the baseball aficionados got a little jealous, and they decided they wanted a game. So we figured out that Friday after 5 was a good time to play the game over there.
Cool.
So yeah. So
Okay. Then on Saturday, you open up at
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they will be preparing for the major reenactment battle, which is at.
Well, the major one, the one that most people just can't miss, is the 3 o'clock battle.
3 o'clock.
There is an 11 o'clock battle at the Stone Bridge over Kelsey's Run.
Okay.
That is a great battle too, and so that's you know, just south of the playground equipment there, and that's nice because that's right at the Axis camp, and the French Resistance get involved, and it's a lot of fun there. The 3 o'clock battle, the main battle, will have air and amphibious support this year, and there's an 88 cannon coming, which will fire blanks, but it is a huge, I mean, this is the cannon that if you watch the movies, if you watch any documentaries about D-Day, or you Wikipedia it, it sat on the ground and it could shoot down planes. It's not huge. It's powerful. So there's a guy that's going to bring his, and there's not that many in the United States.
You know, back in, Connie might remember this is before you got involved.
Careful.
Back in the beginning, when I was chamber president when this first started in '99, and Connie, I believe they had two for a while there. They had two mean battles, and wore these guys out, you know, with the heat and everything, and then they dropped it down to just one major battle. And I could understand that. It was just a little bit too much.
Well, and this year, because we're getting so many reenactors, it's very exciting because we're figuring out what all we can do to jam pack the days, and so we're having more demos. You know, showing off weapons, showing off. Last year at the stage, there was a couple guys doing, I mean, dressed in their gear, and they looked like they were generals and lieutenants, and it was really cool to watch because they were showing the maps and the outline and how they were going to do the invasion, and you know, you had the feel that you were in on the secret invasion. You know, the Germans don't know we're coming. This is so cool. And so, yeah, I mean, you really get into it. But this year, the British are going to have their own forces. They're so en force of reenactors that we're going to do 2 beach invasions simultaneously, side by side. We're going to do the main battle that everybody sees, the Allied forces hitting the beach, and then just west of that, east of Kelsey's Run, but west of the main battle, we're going to do a simultaneous battle. So the watercraft, because we're getting so many more watercraft coming, we'll be able to do 2 kind of like this, you know, 2 at the same time, one with a shorter loop and one with a larger loop, that it will simultaneously, you'll have the feel of 2 separate battles. And we hope by doing this, we've got more bleachers coming, we're going to separate and disperse the crowd a little better so that you can see either one a lot better. Well, that's always been an issue with us, that it's been difficult to see, and we get that. It's hard to see over somebody's shoulders. But we have more bleachers coming thanks to the Ashtabula Area Little League and people that are going to get them and pick them up for us and bring them back for us. All this takes logistically a lot of work.
Oh, it's
but
coordinating.
It's coordinating. It's been amazing.
Lori, now after the battles are over, okay. I don't know if they're doing it this year or not, but one of the organizations here in town fed the not the volunteers, the reenactors.
D-Day is feeding the reenactors with the help of the American Legion. Okay. The Conneaut American Legion. So that will be at the Human Resource Center. Okay. All right. And that's a spaghetti dinner. We do that every year. Yes. And then there's 2 dances. And the
Tell us about the dances.
Let's talk about the dances.
Let's talk about the
Jill, as an intern, is going to head up the one dance, which will be at the Human Resource Center, and that is open to the public. That will be starting at 8 o'clock, I believe, is what we have, and that is where the band that typically we have at the American Legion, we're moving that band, the Madison Jazz Project, which is a full orchestra, phenomenal music. We're moving them to the Human Resource Center for several reasons. One is it's air conditioned and it's
a little bigger.
It's bigger and it's single level, which is easier for handicap accessibility or anyone with any medical issues at all can get into that dance, and it holds a larger crowd. The Legion dance will be predominantly reenactors, and that is, they're going to have, for lack of a better term, a garage type band called the FUBAR Boys, and anyone who's ever been in the military knows what FUBAR is, and I won't talk about it on the air, but it is a term. It's a military term, and you can look on YouTube and see the FUBAR Boys. But they're a garage style band. It's a group of reenactors that get together, and the reenactors know them from other reenactments. So it's kind of a more loose kind of it's a rowdier dance. It's a lot of fun.
Rowdy.
But it is a rowdier dance, I will say.
Is that the
So
one where
just
they
have a blast.
dress up?
They do. Well, the reenactors just don't change because they just love staying in their uniform. And
Okay.
this is their chance to really show off their uniform. And they bring their Jeeps and all their toys and they come down and they're in the dance and they're just, they're letting loose. They've had a long day, a long weekend, and they're just cutting loose. Mm-hmm. The one at the Human Resource Center, however, is going to be a fantastic event.
Great.
Absolutely fantastic. We're very excited about that with the full orchestra. The Madison Jazz Project, if you haven't heard them,
Do
they
you
are
fill up both
amazing.
halls?
We do plan to fill up both halls this year.
Okay.
Yes, but we start with the spaghetti dinner. Will be at the Human Resource Center, so a lot of the reenactors will end up staying there, and actually, the reenactors are not going to fit in just the Legion.
No,
So
they would camp overnight then and leave in the morning.
A lot of them camp overnight, yes. A lot of them camp all week. A bulk of our reenactors are coming in on Thursday.
Okay.
Most of them will
And
be
then
there
do
by
they
Thursday.
cook there at their campsite?
They cook right at the campsite. As a matter of fact, this year we, as D-Day Ohio organization, are purchasing a field kitchen. And that field kitchen is the equipment that they will use to cook right there and have a mess right there at their site. And last year they got in line and they had their tins, their cups and their plates, and they were banging them, and they and I don't know why, because it's just slopping on some food, which is really fun. But the public can watch that, and that's really cool.
Are you down there all day?
I'm down there all week.
All week.
All day, all week.
I laugh because I say I take a week's vacation to spend it at Conneaut Township Park.
Yeah.
I do. I have to. I just there's no time.
Yeah.
I text work and I say how's it going, and that's it.
Yeah.
But they know they're not going to see me all week.
Lori, one of the big things, we had a caller from Pittsburgh who loves to come up here for this event, and he was a little concerned about parking, and I said I would ask you, is any changes being made, or is it going to be the same?
No, there are some changes. We have the C&Dot Company all the way south to the old deck vending building on Day Street. So it's basically a 3-block segment. That's a lot of parking.
Mm-hmm.
We also have parking at the old Estatic, the corner of Jackson and Broad Street. Across the street from the Estatic, behind the skate park, is parking as well. So that adds a lot to there. At the high school is not available on Friday. That's the change this year, and that's because it's Convocation Day. All the staff from all the schools get together. Mm-hmm. So on Friday, which is a lesser crowd, we still anticipate people coming to fill up all those lots, but I think we'll be fine.
How would they know where to go to park? Are there going to be signs?
Lots of signs. We really increased our signs this year, and that's where a lot of our volunteers stepped up.
Right,
Because
and we really need a lot of volunteers for this parking too.
Yes.
Pat, to keep it smooth.
Right.
We need a lot of parking.
Right, and
attendants.
flag them in.
See, I would have no clue about the skateboard park area.
It's right behind there, and it's a paved area, and the city owns it. And,
Yeah.
And they are going to allow
And
us
there's
to
access from Broad
to park
Street.
it. And access
to it,
right there.
right?
Yeah. So it's really
there
great.
is, isn't
Yeah, but it's right
Yeah.
next to that. It's a tanning salon. I think,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
right next to it.
Right next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when we say the high school, that includes Southeast. So the people who work the parking lot at the high school direct people to park at Southeast and then catch the shuttle at the high school right there.
All right, tell us about the shuttles.
Yes, the shuttles are school buses and the handicap accessible 12 passenger buses, and we do have some handicap accessible school buses as well. We are asking that anyone with any handicap or difficult issues getting in and out of a vehicle or anything like that, go to the C&Dot Company parking lot.
Okay.
Because that will be our main focus. The parking lot attendants there will be prepared and ready for you. We will have a golf cart that will go to your car and pick you up and bring you to the shuttle stop. So as minimal walking as possible.
Okay.
So that is the best way to do that. Unless you can get dropped off. If you can get dropped off, have your driver drop you off at the park, at the gates, the entrances to the parks. The we're absolutely equipped to handle anyone right there too. And Lake Road is going to be one way on Saturday. From Mill Street to Chestnut Street, it will go westbound.
That's new.
That's new. That's new. The city council got behind us and understood our need and realized the safety behind this. And
Now also explain, and we go over this every year, but we have to. There's no access for vehicles to go into Township Park anywhere.
that's correct.
Right.
On Saturday. That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay.
We also have the park on Friday. There will be some limited parking, possibly for some vehicles, but everybody, we have the shuttles. Please use them.
And that's where we need volunteers too for these shuttles.
Yes.
Because it's wonderful to have these people on the buses telling a little bit about the D-Day program, directing the people, giving them information on the buses so they're prepared for D-Day and have a little view of Conneaut. So if
Right.
you're interested in doing that,
Oh, it's a great job.
It's-
Everyone
it
that
is. You
signs
get to
up for
meet
that.
everybody.
Yes. Your job is to greet people, say hello, and welcome to Conneaut and the D-Day event, and you're a concierge, and you get to sit down and you
Right.
meet people from all over the world, really, and it's a blast. It is.
That's
a
what we
blast.
do. We drive around just to look at the license plates.
Yes,
This guy's from
it's
Colorado,
amazing.
Montana.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
You know.
It is amazing.
I just can't believe it.
Yeah, yeah. And the parking lots are really, this year we're going to have a handicap accessible restroom at each parking lot. We found the need for that. And we get better every year. It's just a little bit
Well,
smarter
you
every
said
year.
that last year.
Yeah.
You said afterwards, when you and I talked
Yeah.
at dinner, that we were looking for constructive ideas. That's
we
what we
do.
want.
We ask for constructive criticism so that we can make it better for everyone for the following year.
I can see you have made changes.
Yeah, we have made changes, yes, yes. And last year we used a new system where the lots were colored and we used chips, like little poker chips. And we asked everybody to please, take this chip, put it in their pocket, and when it's time to go back to their lot after the event's over, just pull the chip out
you remember where they're going.
and you remember where you're going. So when we laugh, because we have to remember, we call it the ecstatic lot, we call it the duck company lot.
Right.
We have to remember to call it by colors, but people held up their chips.
They wouldn't know.
No, and we had flags with the colors on it. So you took your green chip, you followed the green flag, you got on the green bus, and you went to your green lot. And it was just so simple, and that was brilliant. But the volunteers, every volunteer has to know that, because somebody's going to walk up to you and say, what do I do with this green chip again? And so the person working the information booth needs to know. The person. So we have a great volunteer training program.
We do.
We do.
Do you have those dates?
Yes,
definitely-
August 11th and August 18th, we will have volunteer training, and we will take walk-ons.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's because we're so huge.
necessary.
It is necessary. August 11th will be at New Leaf Methodist Church at 6:00, and that will be inside. And anybody, I'm talking about people who want to bake cookies and bring them to the park for the volunteers. Just that simple. Anyone who wants to volunteer for anything, let us know, sign up, and then the volunteer training will help. Oh, and another thing we're adding this year is people to stand around the park that are like, may I help you? May I, ask me. The people who just stop you and ask you questions. Tom Parks stepped up and said, oh, I can be that person. I'm like, you're perfect, because
He'd be great at it.
Great at it.
Yeah.
And so we need to train him so he knows what kind of questions they're going to ask, and he knows more about the event. Then the 18th, August 18th, also at 6:00. These are both Monday nights, also at 6:00 on the 18th. However, that one will be at the park, and we will do a physical walk around the park, and you'll get to see what, where things will be going.
Right. Right.
So we're moving some things this year. We're moving the PX, we're moving the operations center. So that's important. Anyone who's volunteered in the past, you still need to attend the training this year.
Connie, cleanup. Do you have volunteers for that?
Well, we need volunteers. We need volunteers for that, and that's Sunday.
That's Sunday.
And yes,
Yes.
we need everybody and anybody. And
I've been amazed through the years how well it's been kept up after I go down there and it's been cleaned up, you know. And,
Well, we take a person. This is our park.
Mhm.
This is our town. We want to put it back to where it was. We are guests of the park. We appreciate Conneaut Township Park. The board and Bruce Mitchell and all the workers there work tirelessly all
Sure.
week long to support us, help us in any way that they can, and we want to get back to them. We want to make sure when we walk off that park that there's not a scrap of paper left on the ground. It's simple cleanup as well as dropping the tents down, rolling them up, getting them, you know, back into the storage units. There's big physical labor for guys that want to show off their skills, and then there's all this other, you know, filling, you know, all our office supplies, getting them back into bins and taking them to the church.
Right, instead of going to Snap Fitness, come to Township
Yeah, there you
Park.
go.
There you go.
There you go. Take a day off from
Yeah.
Snap and come on down.
Laura, what do you figure economic wise this does for Conneaut?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's not quite the LeBron James factor.
Or the Republican
Well, you're probably
convention.
gonna but it's hard to say. That is something that I'm going to ask the Asheville County Convention and Visitors Bureau to check in. And how we do that is how we try to get those numbers is we ask them, you know, what's your basic weekend before that, and then compared to D-Day weekend.
Yeah.
I know
That would be interesting.
it would be. I know in my restaurant, it's our biggest week of the year.
Is it?
It is. It is our biggest
I
week.
remember
It didn't used to be, but it is now.
I remember you and I used to try to figure out how many people we brought in, and we had all kinds of ideas.
Yeah.
We'll try to take a picture of it and try to count,
Right.
and it just never worked out.
Right.
It's
Right.
so hard to gauge.
It is hard to gauge. It is hard to gauge. And we have, we've tried to have people like the Gates doing people counts with little counters.
Right.
We've tried to say, oh, we're going to give them like a ticket to get in, but it's free, and
Doesn't
it-
work.
just come on down.
Well, I
The
tell you
park
what,
is 60 acres. I mean,
we've got a lot of, Connie's got another meeting to go to, so
Yep.
we have a lot more to do. So what we'll do, we'll set up another date,
Right.
Yes.
you know, and
Yes.
as we get closer, this thing's going to start flying. It's only a month away.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to, you know, as it gets closer, we'll be able to talk about more of the items that are coming in and more specific tasks that as they
Right.
get filled, we can tell you what still needs filled.
Okay.
You know, what's left.
Right, Joe and I are gonna work on that this week.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
very good. All right,
for having
thank
us.
you, girls. Good job.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Appreciate
Good
it.
job.